Welcome back to Live at the Left.
I'm Terry Knight.
I'm Kelly Guest, and this is Terri Taylor. And we've had a little bit of a respite. We took last weekend off, and now we're back. And I don't really know how else to jump into this, so I'm going to. Terry's my therapist.
She has information.
That explains a lot.
She's my therapist, as she likes to call it. She does therapy. And as you will see in the coming segments, she's quite the character, which is why you've been asked here today.
Thank you very much.
It wasn't just because I think you were right. I really wanted to talk about therapy and some of the things, because people talk about wanting to get help, needing help and stuff like that. But I've had, and I'll share some of them, horrible experiences trying to find someone to talk to. And so we wanted to bring you here to talk about not only that, but just what it's like from the other side of the couch.
Chair.
Whatever. You do have a couch.
You have a couch.
Yeah, I like a couch.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can just dive right into it. And you can feel free to torture me as much as you need to, because it's fine. I set myself up for this, but I think it's a great topic.
I think so too. I think so too. And in fact, I looked on the internet trying to look up questions about how do you find a therapist, because I've been twice. Neither one very good.
No connection.
None. And so then forget it. I'm done. So what are the questions that people should ask when they're looking for a therapist?
First, I think it's wording. It's definitely about talking to people who have one, that have connections, and then calling and talking to them.
Okay.
Questions to ask. On the phone. Informational interview.
Yeah.
Because you can get a good sense of somebody on the phone, and most therapists will take time with you on the phone to answer questions before they come see you.
And then if they don't, that's probably a pretty good indication. You don't want to.
Absolutely.
See, and I never had, and that may be more commonplace today, that therapists are more customer service oriented, if you will, than perhaps they have been in the past. I didn't realize that was an option. Now, I found you through a friend who had raving things to say about you, but every other time that I had ever gone to try to, either someone had suggested that I get some help, or I thought I needed some myself, I had a terrible time, and I went, and the experiences, I don't know, did you feel this way? You said you didn't like, I felt really beat up isn't quite the word, but I left that experience feeling kind of worse than I did than before I decided to go see somebody.
I apologize for my entire profession profusely.
Thank you.
Ugh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what you do, and frankly, if you have that experience, at what point do you complain?
Boards. Love boards. Boards keep people on their toes. The first question I always ask is, would you like a copy of the address for the board if I suck? So people know that I'm really paying attention to what they need and what's important to them.
Yeah.
I think finding a therapist too is about what you're looking for, because there's a lot of people in the mental health profession generally. There's psychiatrists, there's psychologists, there's social workers, and there's marriage and family therapists. And they all do something a little bit different. You don't want me to talk about all this here. I will bore you to tears and you'll yawn a lot.
No, that's cool. But when should somebody go to the specialty that's most closest to what it is that they are?
Absolutely.
So, can I go to a marriage and family therapist if I just want to talk about me?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's about relationships and interacting and what people do with each other and how they do things emotionally and how they approach things, and becoming aware of all that.
Okay. So if I do make that phone call to interview you, what might be some things, Terri Taylor, that I would ask you prior to making an appointment that would reveal something to me about whether or not you would be a good fit for me?
Did I really go to college? And do you care?
Oh, you mean, yeah, wow. So you really do need to verify people? Oh.
And do you have a license? How long have you been at this? Have you done this pre-licensure, post-licensure? There are a lot of people that practice therapy, coaching, guiding people that don't have credentials to do that. And when you don't have credentials, there's nobody you can complain to if they don't do it well or they hurt you in the process.
Wow, that's an excellent point.
Thank you.
It never even occurred to me, dialing a number of a therapy office, that person might not have the right letters.
Right.
For real, for real.
That's a scary thought.
That's a very scary thought. So,
Agreed. That's why I just apologize profusely for my entire profession. There are a lot of us with letters that shouldn't be doing this work as well. I believe strongly that if you're going to see a therapist, your therapist needs to have seen a therapist or is currently seeing a therapist, because they can't do much work with you beyond the work they've done with themselves. Agreed.
and Henry's kicking the therapy ball, actually.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to actually kind of move it because he can't get past. This will be exciting.
Yay.
There we go. That's a new Henry first.
Great.
He's done all sorts of stuff here live at the loft on camera, but that's the first time he's ever actually started kicking my ball around. So, yeah, okay, so that question, the one question that I really liked.
We have to laugh at that.
What did I say?
That was good.
Your ball around.
Right to the gutter. And
You know, the other thing I think you need to know is a sense of humor is essential. Because when you have human issues, you have to be able to laugh. You have to.
That's a great point, because I have to say that the first person that I went to, I was married to someone else.
It was like
many
this,
years ago.
wasn't it? It was totally.
Yes,
Mhm.
and they never
Really?
said a word.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
How do you
like,
feel?
it was that.
I
apparently
promise
you've
people
met
when I
him.
meet them, I'm not her.
It was terrible.
I do.
It
I
was,
promise people that I'm not her. I'm
Okay,
kind
would
of
you at least
non-traditional,
talk?
actually. Yeah,
No.
no.
So that's my experience.
So you're saying if they don't drop something mildly, at least mildly amusing in the intro phone call, that they probably aren't going to be any good at it?
Well, maybe, maybe not. You can do therapy with people and be completely a questioning therapist, and I think that's valid in a lot of places. But I also think you need to be somebody that's connecting to people, that can develop a relationship. I mean, don't you feel comfortable with me?
Yeah.
I feel comfortable with you too. We've known each other, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
It's just that
Henry's
ability to connect, absolutely. I'm in love with your dog.
Well, he loves you too.
Stop,
he's-
Henry. Now you like ears.
Yeah, he has an ear thing. He saw her on the street. This is really funny. From a distance, he's never met you before today, and he was excited as if he'd known her, and he walked right up to her, not in the way he usually greets a stranger because he likes everybody, but he acted just like he would to you. It was really kind of funny. So yeah, he's probably not going to leave the shot too far.
Yeah.
Yes, and the humor definitely happened. And the therapists that I've tried in the past that weren't any good were utterly humorless. Utterly humorless. So that's a really good point. But I want to back up to that other question that you said, do you care? That's kind of a funny one, because they might, come back with some sort of sarcastic answer, like, why do you think I'm in this business? Or what's a good way for a therapist to answer something like that?
Where they went to school, who they studied with, the kind of therapies they actually do, what their choice therapies are, and the kind of clients they're best working with. So you'll hear that experience in that process.
Okay. And what they're most interested or find most rewarding about it?
Absolutely, that too. Say, what do you do this for? I'm here to help people.
And on that note,
Yeah,
we will take a short break and be back.